we were so delightful that she was that observant on how we eat, and also when we try to chew the food and lick our tongue. I lick her tongue. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Pauline, and this is my tiny corner for first-time moms. If you share the same experiences, if you share the same struggles, please make sure to subscribe so that you will be notified for new uploads. So for today's video, I'm gonna talk about how I ended up starting to feed my baby at 6 months. Although there is a there is a strong argument whether to feed your baby at 4-month mark or at 6-month mark. Personally, I would say it all boils down to the parent's decision and what personally, it all boils down on the parent's decision when to start feeding their child solid foods, whether it could be 4 months or 6 months. But I myself, as a first-time mom, my decision is influenced from what I learned, from what I get from other moms, and advices from both of our parents, my parents and Jofel, my husband's parents. And of course, your baby. Your baby should be, of course, on top of the list, whether knowing that she's ready or not. I know some other moms started feeding their baby at 4-month mark, and they're totally fine. There's nothing wrong with them during that mark, and from then on, growing up. Paula, however, I started to feed her solids at 6-month mark because I was able to see all the signs that she's ready. So one of the reasons why other parents won't start feeding their baby at 4 months is because there are research, although I haven't read any of it, there are research saying that your baby at 4-month-old, their digestive tract at 4 months, it's still not mature to receive any solid foods. And so that's what's like implanted into my mind. That's why I delayed it to 6 months. Of course, those cues were very evident, and which leads me to introducing her to solid foods. So before, at 4 or 5 month mark, Paula would sleep throughout the night, or occasionally I would feed her once during the whole night stretch. I would say around 1 in the morning, but that's very occasional. At that time, she was able to establish her sleeping routine, so of course me and my husband were so happy about it. But on the later part of the 5-month mark, like going to 6 months, her sleeping patterns changed. And so instead of waking up only once during the whole night sleep, she would wake up I would say twice, thrice, or even 4 times during the night. And I started to get worried. Like I was asking myself, like, is there anything wrong with Paula? Is she having any pain at all? Blah blah blah. But one thing I noticed was that when I give her my breast, she felt content. So she eventually felt full after latching on my breast and drinking some of my breast milk. So I was thinking that she's probably not full of what she had, let's say, during dinner at around 7 or 8 in the evening, the past evening. So me and my husband were talking that she is probably not full from the dinner. Although I don't plan to wean Paula totally, completely into solid foods, I would still give her my breast milk as a supplementary source of nutrients. Again, going back to talking about baby weaning, I wanted it to be easier for the both of us, for Paula and for us, her parents. And so what I did is we set up her high chair when she was still 5 months, not to start feeding her solid foods, but to let her observe us while we're eating. So at breakfast, lunch, dinner, we would let her join us in the table, and as she sits on her high chair, and she would observe us how we eat. And that, I would think, contributes to her showing the cues when she was about to turn 6 months, that showing that she's ready to have her first solid foods. I believe in the saying, monkey see, monkey do. So when we eat, she would usually bat her eye on the spoon from the plate going into our mouth, and she would repeatedly look at it. We were so delightful that she was that observant on how we eat, and also when we try to chew the food and lick our tongue. I mean lick our lips. Just basically how we eat. She has been observing us for approximately a month before she reaches 6 months old. And also for a few times, she also showed us, like, she's trying to imitate us how to chew the food, or she'll stick out her tongue. So those are basically the cues which prompt us to started introducing her solids at 6 months. If you've found some research about the topic, I would love a link down in the comment below. Please let me know and share your experiences, whether you fed your baby at 4 months or at 6 months or on a different month. I know that us parents, especially us moms, first-time moms, we try to really think what's best for our child. We think for the best interest of our child. So whether you fed your baby at 4-month mark or 6-month mark, that is totally okay. We should, all moms, especially if we have a community, we should help together and not mom shame other moms on how they parent their children, how they parent their baby, how they raise their children, their kids. We should not do that. Please, just please. I admire all moms out there. I admire you. We are all worth it. We are all doing great. Hope you learned something from this video, and at least I was able to share my experience as a first-time mom. Please give me a thumbs up and share this away to your friends, to your new mom friends, and don't forget to subscribe so that you will be notified for new uploads. This is Pauline, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!